Now on CoastTV News.
Heat wave help.
In case we ever need water for anybody on scene.
How donations can help pets and first responders.
Bellhaven hotel plans.
Growth is not always a bad thing.
From new rooms and restaurants to environmental concerns, how locals in Rehoboth are feeling.
After another day of stifling heat, tracking the threat of severe storms through the evening. The latest coming up.
This is CoastTV News at 6.
Project years in the making, now delayed another month. Good evening. I'm Madeline Overturf.
And I'm Charlie Sakaitis. Welcome to our News at 6. We begin tonight in Rehoboth Beach, where a new hotel is planned for the boardwalk and the avenue.
On your screen now are illustrations for the proposed Bellhaven Hotel. Plans call for the hotel to be 4 stories and have an underground garage. Coast TV News reporter Brandon Ferguson live in Rehoboth Beach. Brandon, years of plans have to wait a little longer because no decision was made today by the Planning Commission.
Maddie, the public hearing for the Bellhaven Hotel is going to have to wait until next month because documents were received within the last 48 hours. The commission unanimously voted to move that public hearing to July 25th, the last meeting for the Planning Commission. And this 4-story hotel would go right here, replacing the Candy Kitchen, and it will have retail space on the first floor and even a restaurant space down at the end of Wilmington Avenue right up against the property. And in talking with people today, some people had concerns about how tall the building will be, but some tourists say it would be a great place to stay. We'll be following this story on July 25th when the public hearing resumes. Live in Rehoboth Beach, Brandon Ferguson, Coast TV News.
Across the avenue, another hotel being built. In case you didn't know, demolition permits for the former grottos off Baltimore were extended. The city says that's because crews discovered the building's structural integrity was compromised, so demolition is allowed right there until tomorrow.
We are in day 9 of the heat wave, although it has cooled down exponentially in just the last hour or two. Coast TV News reporter Zakiya Jennings is live in Georgetown. Zakiya, the heat caused local organizations to sound the alarm for donations.
Charlie, I'm standing here outside of Georgetown EMS. It's just one of the organizations that received donations this week, like water, during the dangerous heat wave. Stephen Chapis, an EMT with Georgetown EMS, says receiving waters and Gatorades from the people that they serve was heartwarming.
It felt really good. It just started with a simple post yesterday morning on Facebook, and next thing you know, we're getting knocks at the door. Next thing you know, we've got plenty to get us through the next couple weeks at least.
Chapis says some of the homes they've gone into this week feel like ovens because there's no AC. Just a friendly reminder to check in on your neighbors, maybe bring them a water. Live in Georgetown, Zakiya Jennings, Coast TV News.
EMTs, they're not the only folks in need of donations. Humane Animal Partners says they need supplies to keep animals busy as the extreme heat is keeping animals indoors more so. They say they're running low actually on wet food, soft dog treats, cooling mats, sprinklers, and toys like Kongs. And the heat does not stop the Meals on Wheels program. Meals on Wheels says it's actually even more important during heat waves because it's dangerous for elderly people to leave their homes in such high temperatures. Staff who deliver meals are also trained to recognize the signs of heat-related illnesses.
Drivers have a relationship with the recipients, so they know if Mr. Jenkins is looking a little sluggish today or if they look like they're hot. And like I said, they go through a training so that they know what to look for when they deliver the meals.
That Meals on Wheels program operates out of the Mack Center in Salisbury, and it is also a cooling center.
This brings us right into our Coast TV poll this evening. We do want to know who's most at risk from the extreme heat.
Let's take a look at the results since the last news hour. It has changed. Outdoor workers still a big lead there, but elderly has gone up a little bit. Pets outside still at 2%. Kids playing right now getting 0% of the vote.
Now, if you haven't voted yet, or if you have a big thought on this, if you want to leave us a comment, go to coasttv.com or use the Coast TV mobile app, and we will show you some updated results later this evening on Coast TV News at 11.
We've talked about the heat. Let's take a look outside into Lewis. Kind of hazy skies over the bay there. As we turn it over to our first alert meteorologist, Chris Mastrobuono, who's in for Paul. And Chris, you said the storms actually helped cool things down.
Yeah, you know, we had that one severe storm that passed through southern Sussex and Worcester County about 2 hours ago, and we had a little bit of an outflow boundary, kind of a small cold front, and it actually helped cool most of Sussex County down. You'll hear that momentarily. Now, we do have a severe thunderstorm watch in effect for all of Delaware, northern portions of the eastern shore, and that goes through about 10 o'clock tonight. So we have to stay weather aware at least for the next few hours. We have that marginal risk, an isolated severe threat. Damaging wind and hail. This is not going to be a widespread severe event. Most of the severe thunderstorm activity is going to be actually west of Delmarva. So there was that thunderstorm pushed through just the southern fringe of Sussex County and then into Worcester County, dropped about 1 to 2 inches of rain, but you kind of see that explosion of kind of cloud cover and that outflow boundary as a mini cold front, and it dropped temperatures pretty rapidly. And that's actually, I think, going to help us here kind of prevent any other further thunderstorm development through the evening. You could see plenty of severe thunderstorms west of I-95. That is going to kind of be our core sector for the storms over the next few hours. 98 degrees in Georgetown. We were just 1 degree shy of hitting another record of 99 set back in 1952. We're at 75 in Bethany Beach, 92 in Princess Anne. So still kind of hot there on the southwestern portion of the peninsula. 71 in Rehoboth, as we've seen kind of an onshore flow really begin to kick in here over the last hour. So we keep that thunderstorm threat in play over the next 3 to 4 hours, and then the severe threat will kind of wane into the overnight, but we still have a shower threat through the overnight with a mostly cloudy night in play with temperatures falling into the lower 70s. So you can see that marine layer moved in pretty quickly here in Milford. Severe thunderstorm watch up through 10. Now we're going to have that marine layer in play for most of Delmarva into our Friday. Much cooler. Temperatures only reaching the upper 70s to lower 80s, a bit warmer further south in the peninsula you go with that onshore flow, but it's a brief cool down because we're going to warm right back up into the 90s over the weekend, and we have more thunderstorm threats to deal with through the weekend. We'll talk about that in the full 7-day forecast. Charlie.
Delaware will now have a State Department of Veterans Affairs. Listen to the details here. After already being okayed by the House, the Senate passed the bill to create a designated department for those who served our country. Lawmakers say 70,000 veterans in Delaware will have their issues represented in this new department, which is a cabinet secretary level office. Advocates say it'll be staffed by veterans in all operational roles.
2 men are being charged in connection to a shooting at a party near the Slaughter Beach Memorial Fire Company. You see it here. That was a few weeks back. State police say a 32-year-old Dover man was hurt when several masked men fired shots at attendees on June 12th. Well, new tonight, 19-year-old Tyree Johnson and 22-year-old Tymere Harmon have been arrested and are facing multiple felony counts.
A new traffic light has been installed at the intersection of Route 16 and Mulberry Street. This comes after a deadly accident and lots of near misses at this intersection. An outcry from the locals. DelDOT says that while the light is up and standing right now, and this is important, it's not going to be activated until August.
Delaware lawmakers want to crack down on repeat drunk drivers. The House of Representatives unanimously passed House Joint Resolution 4. Legislators say the resolution would establish a driving under the influence prevention task force. The measure comes amid growing concern from the public and lawmakers over individuals arrested multiple times for DUI. House Joint Resolution 4 now moves to the Senate for consideration.
The Lewis City Council is working on a pilot program that would help people who have limited mobility, like being in a wheelchair, who also don't have off-street parking. The proposed ordinance would allow eligible full-time residents to reserve a parking space in front of their home if they have a valid Delaware handicap placard and no access to a driveway or a garage. But concerns remain about enforcement and what happens if multiple people in one home apply. Applications are expected to go live July 1 on the city's website.
And we're just getting started this evening.
Previewing night 2 of the NBA draft, see who our local teams added in night 1.
And we have severe storms firing up west of the peninsula. We do have a threat of severe storms, at least for the next few hours. We'll track the storms and more heat in that 7-day forecast here in minutes.
But first, promoting crosswalk safety with chickens. I'm not kidding. How Fenwick Island is getting driver attention. I love this story. It's our Coastal Connections in just 60 seconds.
Why did the chicken cross the road? Well, according to the Fenwick police, it is to get people to hit the brakes for pedestrians. And that's no laughing matter. Coast TV News reporter Kevin Zappe shows us in this week's Coastal Connections how a funny costume is promoting safety.
The Fenwick Island Police Department does everything they can to keep the community safe. Whether that's patrolling the streets in their car, watching over the beach, or wearing a chicken costume.
We at the Fenwick Island Police Department are serious about crosswalk safety.
To spread awareness to keeping your eyes on the road and pressing the crosswalk button, Fenwick Island Police Chief Michael Morrissey took it upon himself to hop in the chicken suit and cross the road.
We're kind of trying to use a little humor to get the message across that don't play chicken in the crosswalks, either as the driver of a vehicle or a pedestrian crossing.
With some cars still not following the crosswalk rules, the police department brought backup, a familiar police figure on TV. They walked across the street together in hopes of sending a message to stop for pedestrians, especially as the busy season gets underway.
Double and triple our crossings, so you're going to see more people out crossing the highway trying to enjoy our beaches and our bays.
Although Chase may be waving goodbye to all the cars in town, that's not the last you'll see of Chief Morrissey and the police department suiting up for duty.
Now, the Fenwick Island Police Department is planning to do this again, but next time they're going to be wearing the Grinch and Santa costumes for Christmas in July. I'm Kevin Zappe in Fenwick Island, Coast TV News.
Well, what a difference a few hours makes. Lewis, we were in the upper 90s just a few hours ago, and we dropped nearly 20 to 25 degrees, all thanks to that marine layer that pushed in. Strong onshore winds have kicked in, and you can see the choppy seas out there, cloudy skies, and that may kind of help us as far as our severe weather threat is concerned here over the course of the next few hours. But temperatures kind of hovering in the lower to mid 70s with another chance of showers through the overnight. You can see we're much cooler throughout much of southern Delaware, but much warmer across Cambridge and the southern reaches of the peninsula. And you can see closer in here, 71 Rehoboth, we're at 75, Long Neck, 77 in Georgetown after hitting a high of 98. And there you see that strong onshore flow beginning to develop, 28-mile-an-hour wind gust in Indian River Inlet. And I think that's really going to help us here as far as our severe threat. And we had that one severe storm push through Worcester County just a few hours ago. That has since passed. We're pretty quiet right now, just dealing with a lot of cloud cover, and that really that outflow boundary and the backdoor cold front, combination of the two, are helping to produce the cooler weather and the cloud cover. See plenty of scattered thunderstorm activity well to our west. Now, the National Weather Service still has that severe thunderstorm watch up through 10 o'clock tonight for the whole state of Delaware. We also have a coastal flood advisory in effect. Coastal Delaware, as well as the back bays, that goes through about 1 a.m. That's due in part to that onshore wind and the new moon. Now, as we see futurecast here, the clouds in play, a few of those isolated storms developing over the next few hours. Severe threat should wane through the overnight, but we could see a few downpours and showers into the early part of Friday, but a lot of cloud cover as we go into the day tomorrow. So cloudy skies with the showers and storms early. We fall into the lower 70s tomorrow. It's really all about location. Most of Delaware in the upper 70s to right around 80 degrees and 77 in Lewis, but 85 Cambridge, 83 in Easton, much warmer to the south, 82 in Salisbury, 84 in Crisfield, and we'll see 87 in Pocomoke City. So there's a few showers, spotty in nature tomorrow. I think most of the day is dry, but that persistent onshore flow will be with us, but it's brief because by Saturday we're in the lower 90s, feeling like 100, and we could see a late gusty storm into Saturday evening, but we keep that shower and storm threat really in play through next Tuesday. Not a complete washout of a weekend. So we have the thunderstorm threat Saturday night, and then another round of showers and storms Sunday afternoon through Sunday evening, and then another warm and humid day into Monday with another shot of storms. But then the best chance of storms comes Tuesday with a stronger cold front, and then we kind of suppress the humidity a bit into the middle part of next week. We're at 70 tonight with the storms and showers early, 80 tomorrow, a cloudy, cool day with a spotty shower, and then we're right back up to the lower 90s into our Saturday. So kind of a classic summer-like weekend on the peninsula with heat, humidity, chances of afternoon and evening storms, and we keep the thunderstorm threat in play at least through Tuesday, and then we do dry things out in the middle part of next week.
Chris, thank you. A House bill up for consideration would prohibit restaurants from providing single-use food service items, and this is important, whether they're plastic or not. That would be unless a customer specifically asks for them. That includes items like straws, utensils, napkins, and condiment packets. Again, they don't have to be plastic to be banned in this bill. The goal is to reduce waste and encourage recycling, though Rehoboth restaurants say it could slow down service.
Any way that we can minimize as much dialogue as I can between me and the customer when it's super busy, the best. So that's kind of one of those things that you would just go ahead and throw it in there. So I don't think it's like really fair, or maybe it'll just take months for people to actually get used to it.
Restaurants with self-service stations for utensils, napkins, and condiments, they wouldn't violate the bill. Proposed penalty fees start at $100 after 3 violations and go up to $500 for 5 or more.
New tonight, the Delaware Department of Education says free and reduced price meals are available for eligible students this school year. This applies to school under National School Lunch Program, school breakfast program, and after-school snack program. To apply, families must complete a meal benefit form and return it to the child's school. The program covers breakfast, lunch, snacks, following federal guidelines. There's a lot more specific detail on this. We do have that up at CoastTV.com.
Marva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
Good evening, sports fans. Night 2 of the NBA draft goes down tonight. Let's quickly recap how night 1 went down. With the 3rd pick, Philadelphia went with VJ Edgecombe after Ace Bailey was the potential 3rd overall pick. The Sixers did not want to take a chance on a player that declined to work out. They go with Edgecombe from Baylor. The wing is known for his defense and two-way potential entering the league. He led all Big 12 freshmen in scoring with 15 points per game. In round 2 tonight, the 76ers have the 35th pick. They need to target a forward, maybe a homecoming for Rasheer Fleming, who played at St. Joe's University in Philadelphia. If he drops to 35, he would be the best fit for the 76ers. And with the 3rd overall pick last night, the Washington Wizards went with Trey Johnson from Texas. The 6'6" guard averaged just under 20 points per game a season ago, which led all NCAA freshmen. They also picked at 21, which was Illinois forward Will Riley. Washington also has a 2nd-round pick tonight from Utah via Dallas. We'll see how our local teams pan out in round 2 of the NBA draft. That's tonight at 8 p.m. That's all for sports. Have a great night, everybody.
Each Friday, you can cheer up with local good news in our Feel Good Friday newsletter. We have features, your cool things to do lineup, some cool pictures. Just sign up right now, coasttv.com/signup or that QR code.
Well, we have no showers and storms at the moment. Most of the activities to our west. We have that severe thunderstorm watch up through 10, so we'll keep a close eye to the skies here over the next few hours. Skeeter meter, well, that's been high, and it's going to continue to be very high through the weekend as we're going to be cooler tomorrow, but humidity is going to be very high through the weekend. John Jariga of Salisbury, Maryland, you're the winner of our Paul Davis umbrella. You get your forecast anytime by dialing the First Alert Weather phone. Now, your 10-day forecast shows cooler conditions tomorrow, but we're going to be right back up in the lower 90s, feeling like 100 with the heat index right through the weekend with afternoon and evening shower and storm threats really through Tuesday. And then we dry things out, and then that's thunderstorm threat by next Wednesday.
All right, Chris, thanks, and thanks for joining us here for Coast TV News at 6.
For more news and local weather, download our Coast TV News app.
The NBC Nightly News is up next.
And we're going to see you later tonight for Coast TV News at 11. Have a great evening.